Hi, this is my home. It's 48 Home Avenue. It's one of the wood frame residences that Wesleyan owns. And it's a really great house. We love it a lot. However, it lacks a lot of insulation, so it loses a lot of heat, and we spend a lot of energy on heat, so it's not the most sustainable. We're going to give you a little tour about some of the main issues, mainly cracks between the doors and the wall and problems with the windows not being well insulated. I'm also going to talk to you about our experience with physical plant trying to get more weathering done and how a lot of those are just tacked on fixes that fall apart right away, so we still have a lot of energy loss. So this is the front door. There's a lot of problems here. I'm going to show you some of them. So we had them come do weathering because there's a lot of air coming in through the gaps on the bottom and the top and the side. So this white plastic thing they added. They also added this wooden thing here, and if you come on the inside you can see they put a layer of insulation. There used to be a little bit more over there, but it fell off. There also used to be a whole thing of insulation here, but it fell off like 2 days after they put it up. It's actually just like a sticky side here, and they just stuck it in. So not a permanent fix. And then at the bottom of the door, there's this thing they added, which has actually helped a lot before all the air would come in through. But you can see that when you close the door, there's still this whole beam of light, which in the winter feels like very cold air. Another thing about this house is our windows, which are great because they're really big and we like the light, but it's not, how do I say this, well insulated window. So a lot of air will just, like if you hold your hand up here in the winter, you can feel the cold air. And it will also come in through the cracks as well. There's just not really a sealant kind of thing to seal the air in at all. It's just like wood sliding on wood. This is our back door. As you can get a good shot of the insulation in falling stage. This one they did a little better because they added some nails to secure it, but as you can tell it fell off like pretty immediately. And even here where there are nails, it's still like not attached, so air gets through there. And you know, it doesn't go all the way to the bottom. There's nothing sealing the bottom really. There's nothing sealing the top. And if you come inside, when you close the door, you can still see there's like a gap between the door itself and the frame. My assumption is that it probably used to fit better, but over time, the doors in the house have moved a little. This house is over 100 years old. Okay, this is our bathroom window. This gap will make the curtain move on a windy day. These curtains break a lot. This is the second one I've had. Maybe the third, I'm not sure. Physical plant replaces them, but the springs break, so then it won't move. So I have to just like roll it up and down every time I want to change that. Or I've just been like taking it out and only using it at night. But yeah, there's like a hole, like they're really flimsy. They also don't provide a lot of insulation. They were telling me I could invest in my own really thick curtains that might block the cold air better, which I'm not really gonna do because I'm only here for a year. So that doesn't make a lot of sense for me. But if you climb onto the bed, actually, you get a better view of this. In the winter, it was really cold in my room, and what they told me was they could like try to like insulate this window better. So one of the problems is this like storm window doesn't stay all the way at the top. There's like this weird old hay-like insulation there. You can kind of see a little in the corner. And they tried cleaning it out, and they got a lot of it out, but I guess, I don't know, maybe the thing itself is just broken, so it didn't stay at the top. They then put a lot of tape, like thick tape, because there's a lot of air coming in through this gap. You can kind of see a little bit of the gap there by the lock. So that's meant to kind of keep that from coming in. And they tried doing the same with taping the storm window. There's like a stream of tape there to block that air as well. As you can tell, the screen fell out, but it was already taped shut, so I couldn't fix it. And they put this like rubber insulation thing and like taped it. It's also sticky on the bottom, but clearly not that sticky. And that was like to block kind of this gap. There was a lot of air coming in through this really big gap here. And that actually did help a fair bit. They also suggested they could like just bring the whole curtain down and put like plastic wrap and tape that whole thing down to insulate it a little better, to kind of have like an air bubble insulator sort of with plastic wrap and tape. But that means I would not be able to use my window or have the shade up or get any light in my room. So I did not opt for that. As a result, we've had to turn the heater up a lot. We also had problems with our heater not really following a schedule, and that means it would get like really hot in the middle of the night sometimes, which is a waste of energy. We've worked with Physical Plant repeatedly. They've come. We finally got a Nest, which is those new little circle pods after they put a couple different older versions. And that's been working a lot better. It like gets adjusted to your schedule. The heaters, the knobs are all broken off the heaters, so whereas you'd normally be able to adjust how open the heat is in each room, we can't, which means that some people's rooms get a lot hotter than others. For some reason, the heaters don't work equally in each room. So you end up having like people who are really cold will turn the heater up, and then the other people get hot in their room, so they open their window. So there's like heat escaping but not being kept in the right places. Yeah, and I mean this heater just like works so much stronger than the other heaters for some reason. So that, and because it's the bathroom, like people shower and stuff, so we usually have the window open anyways. So it's kind of a waste. And yeah, like we can't adjust this. Physical Plant came with their tools to try and turn some of the knobs, but they like actually couldn't do it because they're eroding so badly that they were like just breaking it, so they said they couldn't do it. Another thing about this street is that it's very dark. It's not a very well lit street at night. There's not a lot of street lights, so we like to leave our porch light on, and so do a lot of other houses, just to make it kind of feel safer for people who are walking. The porch lights are not LED lights, and they're not on a timer. So I see a lot of people's houses just with their lights on all day and all night. I'll try to turn ours off during the day when I leave, but that usually isn't, until later, not when the sun rises. So having those be on a timer with LED lights would be a lot more sustainable as well. Oh, you can see 55 Home has their light on right now. I don't think any of these are LED. So in conclusion, I really enjoy it. It would be really nice if the administration invested in these houses to maintain them better. I understand that like for us, it doesn't make sense for me to buy insulation if I'm only here for a year, but for the administration who plans on keeping these houses for the foreseeable future, I think it's really in their best interest, both just for the environment, for sustainability purposes, but also financially, the amount of money that they're spending on heating that they could be saving through a better insulated house, I think is really significant, and that they should reconsider that.